Everybody knows that social media is a crucial business tool these days. But do you know exactly how you should be using it to grow your brand? I'm Jules from Pioneer Playbook. If you're new here, hello, welcome. Please remember to subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. So let's dig right in. Here are my tips for how you can grow your brand using social media. Tip number one is to decide how you want to show up. So this is going to shape everything that you do on social media. And your social media is like a window to your business. So it's really important that you're super clear on who you are and what you're all about. You want to think about who your ideal customer is, like who you're trying to target, and what would appeal to them. So things like what style you're going to use, what kind of content you're going to post, what kind of language you're going to speak with. These are all really important parts of forming your brand, and they need to be consistent across the board so that people don't get confused about who you are and what you do, and so that they know what to expect. So decide how you want to show up, make some written rules about it, actually write down what you decide, and then make sure that every single post that you put out sticks to these guidelines and fits within those parameters. Tip number two is to post really high quality content. People are asking me all the time, what should I post? Should it be things about my products or services? Should it be special offers that I'm running? And absolutely post those, but that shouldn't be the bulk of what you're putting out on your social channels. Those should be kind of dropped in there amongst other things. And what you do want to be posting are things that provide genuine value to your audience. So something that they're going to find useful and or interesting. So an example of valuable content, say you are a hair salon. You could post something like 5 top tips for great hair days, or I don't know, I'm not a hair person. Or if you are a digital marketing service, you could say, here are 5 Instagram hacks, or something that they're going to want to read, something that is of interest to them, not just trying to pitch them your stuff all the time. And this is important for a few reasons. First of all, obviously it's great for building the social channels because people want to come back and they want to read your stuff and they know that you're going to be giving them good information. But it also builds trust, it builds a relationship because they don't feel like you're selling to them all the time. And it positions you as an authority in your industry. You know, if you're curating really useful information and putting it out there, it positions you as someone who knows what they're talking about. So those are a few really good reasons to post valuable content. Other kind of posts that you can do, things that show people behind the scenes. People love that. They want to form an emotional connection with your business. So if you post behind the scenes of what you're up to, you know, sneaky peek of you at the desk, or preparing some of your products, or speaking to your clients, something that just shows you in action running your business, people really love to feel involved. So anything that shows behind the scenes is awesome. Also anything that encourages engagement. Ask their opinions. Get them to get involved and say what they think and vote for things. People love to get involved in that way as well, and the more engagement you can encourage, the better. Also, the more engagement that you get on your posts, the more that the algorithms are going to favor your posts and show them to more people. So that's an extra reason to do it. Tip number 3 is to be consistent. This is so important. I'm always getting asked the question, how often should I post? That is important, obviously, but what's more important than how often is that you're doing it consistently. So if you post once a week, but it's every single week once a week, that's much better than posting 1 week 3 times, the next week none, the following week 6, and then 2 times. It just gets confusing for people, and you want to be consistently doing the same amount of stuff. So pick a schedule and stick to it. Not only will this help to actually grow your audience, because again, the algorithm favors it, but people will start to know to look out for your stuff. They'll know how often to expect to hear from you. And it's just going to be a lot better for building that trust and building the brand. Tip number 4, always have a call to action. So there are so many wasted opportunities on social media where people post really great, interesting posts, and then it just fizzles out at the end. There's no next step, there's no next action. So like I say, you don't want to always be selling and trying to push your products and services, but you do want to always be encouraging something, some kind of action step, even if it's just getting people to like, or to comment, or to say what they think. Oh, hello Jasper. Have a visitor. Even if it's just to like or comment, or to click through and read a blog post, anything that gets them to do something. Not only does that, again, increase the engagement, but it gets them used to the idea that your posts always ask for some kind of action after. So when you do post something that is one of your offers or something about your products or services, there's going to be a much higher chance that people are going to engage with it and follow through on what you're asking them to do, because they're used to doing that with your posts. The other thing about call to actions is make sure that you only ever have one call to action for whatever you're doing. So if it's a post, make sure that post only has one call to action. You don't want to say, please like, and then read this, and then put in your email address, because no one's going to do loads of them, and more likely they're going to get overwhelmed and do none. So pick one thing for each post and ask them to do that. So always have a call to action. Tip number 5 is to capture people onto your email lists. If you don't have an email list, go and get one right now. Right now. Like, just pause this and go and start an email account. If you do have a list, which I hope you do, you want to make sure that as many people as possible that are on your social channels are able to get onto your email list as well. There are a few reasons for this. The top reason you hear people saying is, well, you know, if Facebook were to shut down tomorrow, then you wouldn't have all those people. That is true. That is very true. Facebook went down a few months ago and people panicked. So you want to always have people in another place where you own those contacts, like an email list. But honestly, more important for me is that on Facebook and Instagram and all social channels, you can't control whether people see that you've posted or not. It's all up to the algorithm. It's up to a whole bunch of other factors that you can't control. Whereas you know for sure, you send out your weekly newsletter, you know they're going to see it in their inbox, and then they can decide whether or not they're going to read it. But they actually always have that choice because it always goes into their inbox. So there's a much higher chance of people actually reading your stuff that way. I've also always just found that it's much better for relationship building and getting people used to what you do on a regular basis, because if you, again, it's about consistency. If you're putting out a broadcast once a week, people kind of know to expect it, and a lot of people will be looking forward to it, and they'll be, you know, ready to read it, and they'll be looking out for it and know that you're going to provide really valuable content in that newsletter. So it helps to build relationships, it helps to build trust. All the things that we're trying to do with our social channels are mimicked then on the email list, and it just makes everything a lot stronger. So how do you get people from your social channels onto your email list? The best way that I've found is, again, providing something valuable, providing something that they're going to use, that they're going to want. And then when they sign up for that, they put in their email address and sign up for your newsletter, and then they're on your list as well. And that way you're not kind of saying, give me your email address because I want it. You're saying, here's something really valuable that I think you might like. You know, would you like it, and sign up for my email list? And that just kind of gets people between the two platforms. Tip number 6 is, when you're ready, advertise. A lot of people are really scared of social media advertising, and I understand why, because it can be a bit daunting if you don't know what you're doing, but honestly it is such a powerful tool, and you don't actually need to spend a lot to see results. So the really cool thing about Facebook ads, for example, is the targeting. The targeting is unreal. I mean, this is just, we're in this stage in technology where this is just an advertiser's dream. You can literally go in and select everything you could possibly want about your ideal customer. You could say their age, their gender, what they're interested in, whether they're married, whether they have kids, all these kind of things you can select to narrow down to who you're trying to target, and use that to run the ads only to those specific people. And that means you also only pay to show it to those specific people. So if you're really smart with your targeting, you don't have to throw a lot of money at the ads in order to get some results. So when you're ready to go through that stage and start learning about advertising, I highly recommend you do it. Don't be scared, just try it. It's really something that you just want to play around with. You know, put $5 in and see how that goes, see what works and see what doesn't. You don't have to invest like $500 to get something to work. And once you start using targeting and advertising to grow up your social channels, you're not only going to have obviously more people in your social channels, but you're going to have a social channel full of targeted people who are your ideal customer. And there is no other way like it to grow your brand properly, full of people that want to see your content, are interested in your content, and who are exactly the people you're trying to reach. So there you go, social media is such a powerful tool for growing your online brand. Just make sure that you decide how you want to show up and stick to it. Post really quality, valuable content, be consistent, always use a call to action, get people on your email list, and when you're ready, use targeted adverts to bring the right people into your social channels. I guarantee you use these 6 social media tips and your brand will grow. You're gonna not only see bigger numbers, but you're gonna see higher engagement levels, and you're gonna be filling your social channels with high quality, targeted people who are your ideal customers, which in turn is going to lead to much higher conversions into sales, which is important for every single business. So use these tips, grow your brand, get more sales. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. I will be back next week with another video. Bye!